My opinion about Andrew Tate's arrest. Look, I'll just be honest with you. All right. I'm just going to tell you what I know about Andrew Tate. This is all I know about Andrew Tate. This is it. Right. A couple weeks ago, I started getting inbox messages from people saying, "Hey, Caleb, have you heard they're working with Andrew Tate?" And I didn't know who that was, and I didn't reply. And they replied, "Aren't you mad about it? Here's all this negative information about Andrew Tate." I'd never heard of Andrew Tate before. Viking Dave, I'm with you. I don't know who Andrew Tate is. I have no idea who Andrew Tate is. And then you send me a resume about how bad he is. And I see that and I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know who he is. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. You know, a lot of people, anyone who ever associates with me gets sent a big long manifesto about how evil I am. And I don't endorse that. So when people send me, "Aren't you mad at so-and-so for associating with so-and-so? Here's a big long manifesto about," I just ignore it. That's my response, right? And please, if anyone sends you, first of all, if you're on these streams long enough, eventually they're going to send you a manifesto about how evil I am. And I would ignore that. And if you send me a manifesto about, "Hey, Caleb, did you know that like Jenny Lynn, who's in your chat, once talked to a guy who's friends with somebody who did blah, 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 blah." I'm not interested. I really am not interested. That's how cancel culture works. So I had never heard of Andrew Tate. I got cancel culture messages sent to me. "Aren't you mad that you're associating with this person who's blah, 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 blah?" I don't know if he's blah, 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 blah. That's just what you said. I really have no interest in doing the research to find out. They're doing their own thing. They're not associated with me in any way. So I don't care. And that was my response. And I just ignored those messages. And that was that. I just don't care. I don't care. And so I'm just like, all these people, I got 3 or 4 messages of people wanting me to do something about it. And I'm just thinking, like, I'm not going to do something about it. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, get on the internet. "I denounce." I'm not going to do that. I don't care. I just don't care enough. And if there was any reason for me to do something like that, it wouldn't be because somebody inboxed me. All right. I'll just tell you that. I suppose if I really cared, I could go and research this Andrew Tate character and be like, I shall crack the Andrew Tate case and come out with a position. I don't care. So that's what happened. And I just don't care. I just don't care. And I'm glad you're glad, class, because I just don't care. I've learned after years of being on the internet, I have learned not to care. So then, like today or yesterday, all of a sudden it was all over Twitter. Andrew Tate got arrested, and he like had a Twitter war with Greta Thunberg, and then he got arrested. Again, I don't know who he is. I don't know why he got arrested. I don't know. I mean, I don't like Greta Thunberg, but maybe he's an asshole too. I don't know. And I don't care enough to know. I just don't care. And I just don't care. And I don't like this. I don't like it. Right. And honestly, I think by not, I made a tweet. I said, "Who is Andrew Tate? Why was he arrested? Why is this all over my Twitter feed?" And I let people respond. And I got a variety of different responses. And all those responses said to me, "Yeah, stay out of this one. You don't know anything about it." And, I feel like it is my obligation, if I don't know what's going on, to stay out of it. And that's what I would encourage you to do. If you don't know about somebody, you're not intensely following some case, and you just hear that something happened with somebody, don't dogpile. Right? There's all kinds of people who don't know anything about me. They know nothing about me. They know nothing about what I stand for. They know nothing about anything. Right? They just saw some tweet or saw some dumb YouTube video, and based on that, they like go into this whole thing about me. Well, I really would appreciate people not do that. Now, if people watch these streams, listen to what I have to say, and then want to, disagree with me, that's on them. But like, people think they know about somebody by reading a tweet. I don't know anything about this Andrew Tate guy. I don't know anything about it. Right? And I know also that there's all kinds of stuff about me on the internet that's bullshit. And that if all you knew about me was what you saw in some tweets or what somebody inboxed you, you wouldn't know a damn thing about me either. So I just don't talk about Andrew Tate unless you really know about it. Unless you really, know who this guy is, you know the case, you know the details, don't talk about it. And that's just how I feel. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, right? Maybe this guy is an awful person who deserved to be arrested. Maybe he's not. I don't know enough about it. And the problem with social media is everyone feels obligated. When the mob on social media is saying one thing, everyone feels this obligation to agree. It's like, oh, look, all these people can't be wrong. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. All those people can be wrong, but all those people can also be right. So I don't know. I have no idea who Andrew Tate is. I think someone told me he used to be a boxer or an MMA fighter or something, and he does a social media channel. Okay, I've never watched his channel. I don't consume his content. I don't consume his content. I've never watched his channel, and I don't care. And I have no idea why he was arrested, and I don't know enough about it. And I don't know enough about it. And I have been the victim of people on social media all, thinking they know about me when they don't. Right? And that's the thing is I don't know about this Tate guy. I have no idea what the allegations against him are. I have no idea what he believes. I don't know anything about him. Nothing. So, like, how am I supposed? And the more I hear about it, the more it sounds like something I just don't care about. I don't want to know. I don't want to know who he is. I don't know what. I mean, I don't like Greta Thunberg. I don't like her. So, but but just because he's against her doesn't mean he's good. There's a lot of awful, awful people who are against her. So I just don't know. I have no knowledge of this case. I don't know anything about it. And I wish people would do the responsible thing. I wish people would do the responsible thing. And just when they don't know about something, either investigate it or don't, right? Mao Zedong, he said, no investigation, no right to speak, right? If I really cared about this Andrew Tate thing, if I really cared, I would do a deep dive investigation. I would learn all about this person and I would find out who he's backing and who's against him and what. I don't care enough to do that. I just don't care enough. And because I don't care enough, I don't want to comment on it. And if it was a thing I really had to investigate and I really had to look into, I would do a thorough deep dive investigation and study the case, learn all the facts, and then make my decision. But because I don't have the time or interest to do that, I'm not going to. And that's what you should do. If somebody comes to you and says, denounce Joe Bob, if you don't do a thorough investigation into who Joe Bob is, you shouldn't do that. That doesn't mean you should support Joe Bob. Right? If you don't know Joe Bob, you don't know who Joe Bob is, and people are coming to you and saying, denounce Joe Bob, either do a thorough investigation of Joe Bob or say nothing. That's it. That's all you should do. Those are your only two options. I am tired of this, I am tired of this culture where it's like, oh, the Twitter mob said something. They can't be wrong. Yes, they can. But they can also be right. So if you don't know about it, don't say anything. And I encourage you, if you don't know about Andrew Tate and you don't want to know, don't say anything. There you go. I mean, it's that simple. And if you do know about Andrew Tate and you've done an investigation and you confidently feel one way, say it. But if you don't care enough to do a thorough investigation, to learn who this guy is, to learn why he got arrested, if you don't care enough, keep your mouth shut. That's my advice. Like, and yeah, and someone's saying a video on Tate would be a waste of my time. Yeah, it's not something I want to do. I don't want to know who this guy is. I don't care who he is. I just don't care. I don't care, and if I were to say something, it would be coming from a position of not knowing. And that's a reason not to say something. I know who Greta Thunberg is, and I don't like her. And I've done enough investigation to know that she thinks economic growth is bad. She's being promoted by, by the World Economic Forum and by the degrowthers. I don't like her. But just because somebody doesn't like Greta Thunberg doesn't necessarily mean they're right. So I just don't know. I don't know.